What's going on, guys? MariK here. Last week we covered all of the maps for the classic Battlefront 1 game, went over their layouts, and talked strategy for each of the various factions. This week we'll be talking about the maps in Battlefront 2, going over the changes to the maps that have come from the first game, discussing strategies for the new maps that are new to the second game, and going over various strategies for each faction on each map. Endor makes a less than triumphant return from the first game. The map itself is completely unchanged as far as the layout goes. The Empire still has the shield bunker, the barracks, and the camp. The Rebels still have the East Trail, the village, and the Rebel outpost. However, the map doesn't feel the same as it did in the first game. It plays differently in a way that just doesn't make sense. And I played this map over and over again just to kind of try and get a better feel for it. And I can't honestly pin down what it is that makes it different. I don't know if the Ewoks have a better AI, if they do more damage, but somehow the map feels like it's the reverse of the first game that always felt like it was in favor of the Empire because they had the ATSTs. This time around, the ATSTs don't really feel like they make much of a difference, despite the fact that they can one-shot every enemy class. When playing as the Empire, there doesn't seem to be a clear-cut strategy. I like to take the ATST, of course, to try and get to the enemy command posts. It's still the same powerhouse that it was, or at least it should be. Granted, your main weapon is now this. It shoots just kind of like a quick burst of lasers that you can fire. But now, the cannon you're used to using from the first game is controlled by your secondary fire. And that is still your one-hit kill cannon, but it just doesn't... It doesn't feel like it has the same feel. Like, I really can't put it into words, because there just aren't words that seem to match what's happening. Also, there seems to be a lot more speeder bikes. The Rebels will constantly be on a speeder bike and just heading straight for you. Even when I don't focus down the Ewoks, it always feels like there's too many of them compared to what we were used to seeing in the first game. As you can see, we're already down on reinforcements, and all we've been doing is just unloading on them with the ATSTs. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. There's not a theory that I have outside of the Ewoks just actually being a helpful faction this time around. Because even the Rebels constantly taking the speeder bikes is doing nothing. They're not using the speeder bikes to kill your walkers. They're not using it to kill your infantry. You can even sit and just camp command posts. But, it doesn't seem like it has the same effect. Either the spawns can be further away from the command post, or they just don't spawn as frequently at the command posts you're at. A simpler strategy might just be to take the Rebels on head-on. However, I've also found that that strategy doesn't seem to work any better. So instead, it might just be easier to hop from one command post to the next and just kind of focus on taking out the command post rather than the reinforcements. It does become really difficult to hold down command posts because every time you turn around, there's an Ewok in them. Ewoks are pretty frail, though. One good blaster pistol hit to the face is enough to kill them. Our theory appears to be correct, though. The best strategy is to just attempt to take every command post you can possibly get your hands on. Ow. When playing as the Rebels, you actually have two strategies that you can go with. You can duplicate the strategy I took with the Empire and just hop from one command post to the next, trying to take early momentum. Or you can take another class, probably the sniper class because of the increased movement speed, and you can hug the edge of the map, go around their first command post, go straight towards the barracks to take this command post. They still have an ATST here. Actually, I have two ATSTs here. So, you can just sit here. I was going to say you can sit here and camp and take the command post, but it seems more appropriate to just take the ATST and just obliterate their forces with it. If you plan to take an ATST, I would probably recommend grabbing an engineer class instead of the sniper route, but you're still getting enough of your value out of it even if the ATST is destroyed. So I think the trade-off is pretty worth it. If you can actually take this command post and group up with another player, it should be simple enough to take it. You could also just wait on another one to spawn, like it just did. Take it before one of the Imperials do, and you're pretty golden. This has already granted us a huge tactical advantage, despite the fact that we just ate that shot. But, I mean, we're, 50 troops ahead now? That's pretty substantial of a difference. So that's going to be it for our strategic map overview of the Endor bunker. The map seems heavily in favor of the Rebel Alliance. However, we proved that playing as the Empire, if you've got your shit straight, you can take it over. If you get multiple good players piloting the 3 ATSTs, you can probably take the map by storm. If not, you can also just hop from command post to command post, take them over, get those reinforcement counters down, and eventually you'll just get victory. For the rebels, you either want to take the camp and push them back to the barracks and the bunker as quick as possible, or go around to the barracks, take the command post so they can't get their ATSTs, or just take their ATSTs. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection comes out in just 2 weeks, so we hope to see you on the Battlefront.